What's up, guys? I'm Ryan with Ryan Epps Fishing. On today's video, we're back out here on Douglas Lake. It's been too long. We done skipped the whole season, but we're talking fall transition and we're chasing down some of them bass. So y'all sit back, relax. Hope y'all enjoy today's video.
How pathetic is that? Wow. Go figure. Really? Got him. What we got here? Oh, that's what I was afraid of. That is what I was afraid of. Little bitty old white bass. Got him. There we go. That's what we're looking for, I think. Little smallmouth. Little old smallmouth. Been here on them shad. There we go. Not quite what we're after, but it's a start. Little bitty feller this morning on old space monkey. That's a little better. Yes, sir. So basically what we did, the places we started out, those flats, pockets, shallow stuff, I just started working my way out because I wasn't finding anything back there in those shallow pockets. Wasn't much bait back in there. Early this morning, There we go. Oh, that's a good one. That is a good one. Boom, baby. Woo! I like it. Now, as I was saying, just kept backing out, pulled over on this bluff. Now, this bluff runs into those flats that I was fishing. You got one on each end of it. And we got some current out here. Now, I initially started coming down through here throwing a spinnerbait, crankbait, nothing. Picked up the Texas rig, and there's a little ledge that runs right down through here. These fish may look like they're deeper, but they're not. They're actually pretty shallow. 5-6 foot of water. But they're sitting up on that ledge. And naturally getting the most bites. We've got 3 right here in a row. Bringing it down with the current. We got a little current coming out of the river. And I think that's helping us. May also have a little bit of a front rolling in, maybe some rain later. So that ain't hurting matters neither. I guess the real question is going to be, are they going to be down this whole bluff? Because it goes quite a ways. So we'll see. But hopefully this holds out for us a little while. There's you another one. Little old bitty one. It'll be better than that. I think I'm on to them now. Kind of got it figured out what they're doing. I think what they're doing with this current coming down through here, you see these little dips in this bluff coming down through here. And I think what they're doing is they're just using these dips as like current breaks. And sitting in these dips out of the current, what little current we got, and just you know, munching on whatever comes down through there where they can hit it from that current break. I think that's what they're doing. Another little fella. We may have to make a little bit of a move. Go look for something. We'll probably hit this again later. That little stretch right down there. Probably make us a move and try to find us something else similar to what we caught our better fish on. That current was hitting that more down there than this up here. Which is ideal. So probably ought to run up the river a little bit and see if we can get us a little more current. Boom, baby. Yes. All right. So, here's the deal. Ran up the lake, hoping to find a little bit more stained water, but honestly, it's actually clearing up the lake, believe it or not. So you go up, it clears up, you go down, it clears up. For whatever reason, and it may be these mud flats, this little section right here is muddier than the rest of it. So, I don't know. We're gonna fish, we're gonna go back through this little area one more time. Obviously, there's still some fish here. And then probably go way up in the river. But, there's just another one. I like it.
All right, guys, let's talk about what worked today. I'm out here to Douglas today, and we're in that kind of funky fall transition period. You know, it's still hot, things are cooling off, but basically the bait's moving, the bass are moving, and it can make it pretty tough, honestly. The times that I have been out here over the past couple weeks, I mean, it's been tougher than calculus, all right? Tough. You know, basically the deal that we're in, we're not in a full-blown fall pattern yet. You know, we had our big offshore schools of fish throughout the summer, and basically there comes a point they start dropping this lake down. The days start getting shorter. We start getting some cooler nights, all right? And the first thing that I notice every year, which lets me know that this whole transition starting to happen, is you start seeing bait all over the friggin' lake, all right? And a lot of times it'll literally be on the surface, just randomly out in the middle, anywhere. There's no rhyme or reason to it. It's just everywhere, all right? And for the most part, a lot of times it's real small yearling baits too. And you know, that's kind of the first thing that clues me in to this whole deal is setting into motion. We have been trying to run some fall type patterns, trying to attack those fish. You know, there's two scenarios that could be playing out. You could have fish already you know, pushed onto those pockets on the flats and stuff, and you know, you could have fish that you might think have already moved into that fall pattern, but really those could have been residential fish that have just been there throughout the summer anyway. And I thought we were going to be able to run that, you know, the flats and moving baits, spinner baits, traps and all that stuff, and run some of those pockets up there on the upper end and get bit. And that was not the case. What I ended up doing, started out shallow in the pockets. Then I moved out to the ditches. A lot of these pockets, especially your bigger ones off these flats, they'll have little ditches and stuff coming off the creek channel that feed up into them. And those bass will use those ditches to move out off the river channel, and or wherever they've spent their summers out deep. A lot of times they'll use those ditches to navigate up into those pockets. It's kind of the same deal that they did in the spring when they moved up there to spawn. They'll move up there to feed in the fall, as long as the bait's moving up there too. So what I did was I backed out from the pockets and I backed out to those ditches. Spent some time graphing around in those ditches, fishing around a little bit, never got bit, all right, never found anything good. So basically we went from that and we took it back a step further and we went on out to the main river channel. Now I knew the problem that I was going to run into if I started going and trying to target deep fish. I knew I was going to run into suspended fish. Wasn't going to be a good time. So basically I started messing around on some bluffs. We caught them all on one bait. Now this is as simple as it gets, all right? Your basic run-of-the-mill, everyday, y'all have seen one, Texas rig, all right? Now, that bait right there is a good one. This is a Strike King bait. It's called a Space Monkey. And it's got the rage tail flanges on it, but this is a great bait and you can do a lot of things with it. You can tell it is a creature bait, but it's a little bit different from like your structure bug. It's got a slender body. It's kind of got more of like the rage crawl, you know, pinchers back there, and you got the same deal up there with the arms. This thing pushes a lot of water, so it makes it a good stained water bait. All right, it's got a good thump to it. The great thing about this bait is I literally do everything with it. All right, I'll flip this bait, pitch it, I'll throw this bait on a Carolina rig out deep, You know, I'll throw it out in 30 foot of water. I'll throw it in 2 foot of water. I'll swim this bait like a swim jig. You can do a lot with this bait, and it's a bait that I always have in the boat throughout the warm weather months. Now, the color that we've got on there, that's Okochobee Craw. That's a good color. So when do I throw Okochobee Craw? I like Okochobee Craw for a lot of deep water applications because that blue really shows up down there. All right. I also like it in situations like today when you got stained water. I like it for that too. It's a good bait when the water is not straight mud. So when you're throwing black and blue and, you know, solid sapphire blue and stuff like that in your muddy water, if you've got a situation where it's not clear, but it's not all the way muddy, it's just stained, all right, then this is great, because Okochobee Craw, usually across the board in everybody's product line, it'll be some form of green pumpkin watermelon with sapphire blue, all right? And I like that when you've got that moderate stain to where you don't need that black and blue or that solid black, you know, to help you advertise it down there. I like this because it still looks really natural, and it's got a little bit of that blue to flash in that stained water, you know, to help get their attention. Now, to round out our Texas rig here, we have got a VMC flipping hook. Above the bait here, we've got a tungsten. That's a 3/8 ounce tungsten bullet weight, and I've got it pegged because I'm gonna peg a weight when I'm doing a lot of flipping into lay downs and bushes and stuff. And a lot of those areas there on that bluff that I was fishing, especially when I got off the bluff, we were flipping a lot of lay downs and stuff. And I was also periodically running up in the river today to check on stuff and flipping lay downs and stuff up there. So when you're flipping those thick lay downs and stuff, I like to have that weight pegged. If you're not gonna be doing any of that, I think you get more bites when you don't peg it. But since we were kind of doing a little bit of both today, I went ahead and pegged it, and it'll do fine for just flipping around on the bluffs and stuff too. So that's what we got there. Line, we throwing Flourocarbon. Rod that we are throwing this on, that's a Duckett Triad 6'10" medium. I like this rod for a lot of my lighter Texas rigs, light jigs, anything 3/8 ounce and under. I like to throw around on this rod. I like a little bit shorter rod when I'm flipping and pitching up there, you know, close quarters. I personally like a little bit shorter rod, and I personally like a medium over a medium heavy, depending on what brand rod you got and, you know, what characteristics they have. But for me, that Duckett Triad in a medium for 3/8 ounce and lighter Texas rigs, you know, small finesse jigs and stuff like that, that's going to be my setup. Now, the reel that we've got it on, that's a Diawa Tatula 100, and the gear ratio we've got there is a 7:1. So it ain't slow, it ain't fast. It's a step up from your medium 6 speeds, which is, you know, I like when I'm flipping, I like that 7:1 gear ratio, somewhere right there in that range. It don't bother me to throw one on an 8. It does get on my nerves to flip and pitch with a 6 speed. So 7:1, that works for me. But that's all I got for y'all today, guys. If you like the videos, make sure you go hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit that notification bell. That's going to let you all know when I put out all my new videos. If you got any questions or comments, feel free to leave those in the comment section down below. I will get back to y'all with any answers I can give you. Until next time, y'all make some time, get out there on the water and catch you a few. I'm Ryan Epps. Y'all have a good one.